I'm now sponsored by GoGoal Shop, who sell a wide variety of football shirts and kits for a very good price and very good quality. Use the code HEPIC for 10% off, link in the description. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Hepic, the original creator of the FIFA 17 experiment series, with today's experiment being, what if the English clubs were put in alphabetical order? Teams beginning with A are in the Premier League, all the way down to League 2, with teams from the other end of the alphabet. I will show you the key transfers, league tables for the Premier League, Championship, League 1 and League 2, as well as the top scorers, assists and clean sheets for the league I am managing in and the cups. However, I don't have time to make a full experiment today, so I'll show you the first 4 seasons in this video and the other 4 seasons on Saturday, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that. Also, make sure if you enjoyed the video at any point, leave a like and comment your suggestions, feedback and improvements in the comment section down below. Let's get into the experiment. We start off season 1 with an intra-English free transfer between NK Dons and Blackpool, as well as Bristol splashing the cash. Arsenal and Bournemouth also active in the transfer window. Bury and Blackpool making free transfers with the agent Ajoa leaving Leicester. Cambridge add to the free transfers list and Blackburn spent $750,000. Another intra-English transfer, but this time money is spent. Now that Barnet are in the Premier League, new players are needed, and a number of transfers involving English clubs finish off this season's transfer history. Arsenal unconvincingly win the league on goal difference, with Bournemouth not too far behind. Bristol, the best of the real lower league teams, beating Burnley to 3rd place. As expected, the teams from higher league performed better over 38 games. In the Championship, Chelsea dominates, winning the league by 17 points ahead of Everton. Then we have Hull, Fulham, Cardiff and Crystal Palace making the playoffs. Unfortunately, Cheltenham, Grimsby and Crewe are all relegated. A cracking top 3 involving Manchester United, Manchester City and Liverpool, and 6 teams got more than 90 points in the season. Newport upset Northampton by avoiding relegation ahead of the real-life League 1 team. In League 2, smashing Spurs destroy League 2 and Sheffield Wednesday do surprisingly well against teams that should be in the Premier League. Stevenage are the worst in England right now according to the league tables. In the player stats, you have top scorer Wilson banging 21 goals in, and league winners top scorer only gets 18, 3 behind the Bournemouth player. In assists, Pope must be incredibly overpowered to get 8 assists for Bury. Clean sheets, Geifert clearly the best goalkeeper in the Prem, and looking at the cups, apart from Middlesbrough beating Liverpool, there's not any major upsets, with Manchester City taking the trophy. In the EFL Cup, Rotherham knock out Arsenal and Manchester United struggle, with Hull winning the EFL Cup. In Season 2, Everton spending over $1 million on a young player, Burton by a player hitting his prime, aged 27, a small fee for Man City to pay for the young 20-year-old from West Brom. He might have a standard name, but he has now left Liverpool, and a huge transfer out to Real Madrid for £19.5 million, but it gets even better as Ericsson tops the transfer record for this experiment so far with a huge fee. And the highest Accrington have paid for a player, and Aston Villa improve their squad, as alongside Everton and Hull, who also spend big bucks for their new players. In the Premier League, Chelsea top the league as Arsenal drop down to 3rd and Hull prosper in 2nd, but Everton should do better, and Blackburn relegated earlier than expected. Another unbelievable season for Manchester United, Leicester and Manchester City, all getting over 100 points. And Barnet do very well to avoid relegation. In League 1, Liverpool finally get promoted along with Spurs, Newcastle punching above their weight. Everyone 12th and below gets negative goal difference, and Crewe and Grimsby relegated twice in a row. The bottom league, League 2, 2 teams beginning with S come 1st and 2nd. Sheffield Wednesday are not as good as last season, fortunately they come 8th and I think they came 6th last season. And Morecambe are now the worst in England according to the league tables. Looking at the player stats now, the top scorers, Valencia gets 17, a lower top score than last season. Assists, Willian and Sanchez are joint top in assists, but Courtois getting a clean sheet in nearly half of Chelsea's games in the league. Moving on to the Cups now, and in the FA Cup, Chelsea and Manchester United do very poor, with Stoke beating Crystal Palace to win the FA Cup. EFL Cup sees Newcastle surprise Man City to win the League Cup. Bournemouth are knocked out by Brentford. And in Champions League, the biggest European competition, Arsenal, the only English team to do well in Champions League, but realistically lose to Bayern in the final. In Europa League, English clubs are nowhere to be seen in this tournament. Derby pay a lot of money for a former Birmingham player, and Hull also spent 2.3 million themselves. Everton spend a lot of money on a player that won't last long because his ability will deteriorate based on his age. However, Liverpool are a bit smarter, paying for a 22-year-old. Newcastle have a go in the transfer window by buying Mbappé, and Chelsea sell another high-valued player, but Burnley contrasts this by buying a player for 20.5 million. At this point, Everton are now addicted to biting players, and the second biggest transfer so far in this experiment is for De La Feu to move to Manchester United, and Man City buy a very expensive ice cream costing 12 million. And in the Premier League, we see Chelsea not doing as well as last season after selling Zuma, one of their key players, at 24 years old, and Arsenal not in the top 4. I am shocked. There's a lot of teams that should be in other leagues but still staying up there, and we're doing pretty well. Bury then bury themselves into the bottom of the league, and Spurs now promoted from League 2 to the Premier League in 3 straight seasons, only losing 1 game this season. Barnet, Exeter and Crawley are now finally relegated to League 1. In League 1, Newcastle are showing that they're not to be messed with by beating a number of teams that should be in the Premier League right now, and the rest of the league isn't that exciting. In League 2, it took them a while, but Sheffield Wednesday are finally promoted, but Stevenage are back to the bottom, doing awful. In the top scorers, Rashford showing his world-class future self with 23 goals, and another Manchester United player tops the assists. Then in the clean sheets, Courtois does it again. He's far too good for this league. In the FA Cup, Aston Villa beat Man City, Stoke beat Arsenal and Newcastle, beat Spurs and Chelsea, but crumble against Liverpool, unfortunate for them. In the EFL Cup then, Exeter do extremely well with Leicester winning it. But it's not a great year for the English clubs in Europe, and this is a repeat in the Europa League, so far not great in Europe this season. I don't know why, but Everton let Lukaku go on a free, Van Dijk moves to Spain, and Burton makes some money out of Sordell. Aston Villa put their hands in their pockets and find 6.5 million to buy Woods. Spurs buy a young player, Stoke now getting involved in the transfer action, and 50 million for Coutinho makes him their second most expensive transfer in this experiment. Mahrez moves to Manchester United for a complete and utter bargain. 23 million, that's great price for Mahrez. Liverpool uses the extra cash to buy a former Monaco player, and Swansea sells centre-back. Arsenal spend 20 million on Diedhiou, and Freuler transfers to Liverpool. Now in the Premier League, Spurs win their 3rd league competition, and Stoke beat Manchester United, Liverpool, Everton, Manchester City and Arsenal to 3rd place. Barnsley, Bristol and Bolton are relegated in the Championship. Southampton close to scoring 100 goals to win the league. Newcastle promoted again. Another poor season from Bury, but they survived the drop. League 1, West Brom had an awful season to only get 75 points and finish 10th. Barnet once again delay the relegation. All the real life Premier League teams are now out of League 2, and as you can see, there's none there. And Stevenage and Morecambe switch at the bottom, so again they're really competing for 23rd place every single season. In the top scorers, a Stoke player finally wins it, and in the assists, 13 assists is crazy for that amount for a pacey striker who is also called a Musa. Then for clean sheets, Courtois is finally knocked off the top spot by Butland. Liverpool make it to another final but lose to Southampton, and MK Dons upset Manchester United. Again, the Manchester club loses again in the round of 16. Stoke put their league form into the cup by winning it, and a couple of English teams do quite well-ish. They get to the quarter-final of the Champions League, and again, Liverpool lose in the final, but Arsenal do even worse. And that is the end of part 1 of the Alphabet experiment. Make sure you subscribe if you want to watch part 2 for Saturday, and if you're new to the channel, also leave a like so it shows you like these kind of videos and I keep doing them, and comment down below your feedback, your thoughts, and anything you want to say down below. Also, I'll do the summary for the whole experiment after part 2, so if you want to see that, you have to watch part 2. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I will see you guys later. Bye!